Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemo, the dad in DPS, and we're back again with another episode of Scrip My Pants, a series where I spend 2,000 scrip in order to unlock nightmares. Hellish nightmares. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And after you've watched the video, if you feel like supporting the channel, there are relevant links down below, like coffee and whatnot. But yeah, let's get into it. Now, after last week, I don't think we can do much worse, but, you know, the game might decide otherwise. Vampire bow, bashing damage, and faster movement speed while aiming. I can't think of a reason for this thing to exist. Vampires on a weapon that has a slow fire rate is not great. Bashing damage on this is certainly not great, so yeah, disappointing. But, you know, first thing. Oh, if you could see my face, you could hear the disappointment. Now, this is a weapon I'm sure someone will actually want. It's a bloody black powder rifle with bullets explode for area damage and stealth field. Black powder rifles, I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I can't think of a reason to like them, but you know, they are one of those niche weapons, and I've not actually tested one on the channel. Maybe I should. Either way, ugh. Very ugh. Okay, so this one is a Nocturnal Fixer with VAT's critical meter fills faster and your action points for each kill. Now, again, there are people out here who like using Nocturnal, so this is actually another one for the Fixer collection. Nocturnal is not the best effect in the game, so it kinda makes it slightly not that great, but at the same time, it's not a bad effect, it's just not really that great in comparison to other ones. Mutant's auto grenade launcher, VAT's crits, faster reload. Now, I mean, because of the way it is, Mutants is just basic 25% damage. The VAT's crits, the faster reload. It's okay. It's a very okay weapon. It's not top tier in terms of what it could be. If it had anti-armor, that would make it great. If it had quad, that could potentially make it great. Two-shot, however, is the best variation of this weapon that you can get. So, yeah, anything that falls short of two-shot isn't the best. Either way. Exterminator's short combat rifle. VAT's crits do 50% extra damage and critical meter fills 15% faster. If this had any of the main damage effects instead of Exterminators, this would be a really good weapon. Exterminators makes it absolute pish. Nocturnal double barrel. So you get 25 damage while aiming, 9% reduced weight. Again, not a bad weapon, just not particularly the best variation of it either. I'd probably Scrip it because I've got so many better versions of a double barrel. Vampire's missile launcher. VAT's crits do 50 damage and the damage resistance while reloading. I mean, technically a vampire missile launcher is going to do a lot of healing, but at the same time, again, two-shot is, I think, the only respectable way to use this weapon, in my opinion, and even then, it's not the best. So we've got 3 more to go. Two-shot ultrasight laser pistol with damage while aiming and resistance while reloading. It's not that great. Two-shot on this weapon is just not good unless you've got explosive, and if you've got an explosive, you've got a legacy, so yeah. Mutant Slayer's pipe pistol, bullets explode for area damage, and resistance while aiming. Again, specific damage is not amazing. It's better the fact that it's a pipe pistol because it can utilise the full effort of that bullets explode for air damage. Maybe a decent weapon to use in West Tech, but overall, just rather meh. There's a lot better versions. And quad broadsider. Now this weapon is actually pretty good. The quad ammo capacity on there, the damage while aiming, and the 15% faster reload. This actually is one of the best variations of the quad broadsider. I am a big fan of the quadsider. I mean, I've got a video on it. It's a fantastic gun, so I'm actually quite happy with this. What I'd say is I have a lot of quad broadsiders at this point, so it's technically not that exciting to me, but it is a good weapon and fun to use. Let's move on to the next character. Alright, character 2 and 10 more items. First up, we've got Executioner's Crowlator with 25% faster fire rate, 1 jelly. Now, something I'd say about this gun is it's not something I've tested, and I'm actually curious to see how it actually performs. So this might be something that I'm interested in. However, what I'd say is I do have better versions of it. Now, don't get me wrong, Executioners is a really good effect in my opinion. Obviously, on the latter half of the enemy self. The faster fire rate on here, this thing's going to go through its clip like mad. The 1 agility, not that great. Overall, very mid weapon. Again, haven't really used cryolators, so I'm not actually sure how good they are. Okay, Executioners again. VATS hit chance, and VATS critical meters fills 15% faster. This is another weapon I've not actually used at all that I can think of. Again, I think when it comes to explosive weapons, 2-shot is always king. The VATS hit chance is good because it's going to enable this thing to actually hit something further away for definite, and your critical meter is very important. Critics with these things are going to do insane damage. Ghoul Slayer's minigun, VATS hit chance, faster reload. Pish! Getting Script. I don't really want to talk about it. Troubleshooter's light machine gun, 25 damage while aiming, 250 resistance while reloading. Decent effects, apart from the robot thing. Unfortunate. Good gun though, like very good gun, like machine guns. So mutant short double barrel, 25% faster fire rate, 15% faster reload. Now if this was quad, this would be good. It is not quad however, so it's not good. Mutants is a great, well, I say a great effect, it's an okay effect. Faster fire rate on a gun that is 2 shots is just kinda meh, and then the faster reload speed is the best effect on there in my opinion. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Quad ultrasight laser pistol. Now here we have something that is actually decent for what it is. Quad is a very good effect, let's be honest. It is one of the best damaging effects in the game because you can pump out more damage for longer without having to reload. The faster fire rate on this thing means it's going to be going through that ammo just very fast. And then you've got your 25 less VATS action point cost, which is just going to increase your accuracy to a kind of maximum level because you're going to be able to use the perks in order to just hit everything. Decent weapon. I'm actually quite happy. This is probably one of the best ones that we've had today, if I'm honest. Yeah, happy with that. Next up, Junkie's Gatling Laser, 25 damage while aiming, and damage resistance while aiming. Now, Junkie's was one of the better effects. Nowadays, it's not that great. Don't get me wrong, if they buff it in the future, this could be quite a formidable weapon. But because it's Junkie's, it's not that good. Outside of that, it's nigh on a GODROLL to an extent. I kind of debate with guns like this that the 25 damage while aiming is actually debatably better than the faster fire rate, on the sense that you're not going through as much ammo as quickly, and on top of that you are getting more damage per shot, so you're getting more bang for your buck basically. But either way, it's Junkie, so it kind of lets down the side on that part. 3 more to go. Everything I said about the previous gun, this one is just shit. Just absolute crap. Ugh. Yeah, none of those effects were good. None of them. Last but, no, not last but not least. I think it was 200 I've got, yeah. Ghoul Slayer's submachine gun, VATS critical hits do 50% damage and damage resistance while reloading. It wasn't for, well actually not even then, it's just a bad weapon. It's like all the things on there, apart from the VATS crits, are not great. Ghoul damage, resistance while reloading, it's just not for this gun at all. Alright, last but not least, Junkie Short Gatling, VATS critical hits do 50 damage, and VATS critical meters fill 15% faster. Now, again, Junkie's not the best effect. VATS critical hits and the crit meter. This isn't a weapon I would typically use with VATS. Let's be honest, it is primarily a aim and fire weapon. It's just, yeah, very disappointing set of effects on it. Probably gonna scrap it, personally. It's not worth keeping for my collection. Oh well, let's see what the top picks are for today, eh? Now for today's first pick, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Junkie's Gatling Laser. The reason I'm saying that is because while Junkies is not currently a great effect in comparison to some, it might get a monumental buff in the future to help it compete. That is the kind of nature of these things. So in terms of how it actually works, it's not a bad effect per se, it's just not as good as things like Aristocrats, Anti-Armor, Bloodied, you know, the kind of standard ones that you use for typically anything. So while it's not great at the moment in comparison, it could have potential in the future. And for tonight's middle ground pick, I think I have to go for the Quad Broadsider. Quad on Broadsiders are the best effect that you can possibly get. Add in that 25% damage while aiming. You will, for the most part, just be manually aiming this weapon. And then that 15% faster reload. It's a fantastic gun. It is not the best gun in the game, let's just get that right out of the way. It is just fun to use, everything about it. It's got a kind of drop, so you have to aim it carefully, and if obviously you're too close, you can end up blowing your own bollocks off. Either way, it's just a fun weapon to use, and if you haven't used a Broadsider before, and you have a Quad Broadsider, I would recommend you tool it up and use it. Now, honestly, I think tonight's top pick has to be the Quad Short Alter Sight Pistol. Every single one of its effects are great. It is a GODROLL. There is no other way of denying that. The faster fire rate is fantastic, and the VATS action points are fantastic. You could debate that you want more crit on it, you could, like, there's so many different effects that could have filled those bottom two things that would have made it great. This combination is still really good, so I'm actually really happy with all the effects that are on there, and I will be using this at some point in the future. So that was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and helps me continue making videos for you. And if you'd like to support the channel more, there is my Ko-fi link down below, as well as the YouTube members join link. And let's thank our members, which are Golty, Wyatt Blackburn, Wallers, me, DeoFig Gaming, Colin G, Brian RMC, Peg 8 McKnight, Matazbo, Dragon God Slayer X, Devilman Games, Marcus Carrasco, Scott S, and Bubba Doodle Mom. A really big thanks to all of you guys. We can't do this without you, and it helps me infinitely in order to make all these videos and content, stream, all the usual kind of things that I'm doing. And now that I'm feeling a bit better, we will be getting back into the swing of things and doing more and more videos in the future. It's just a case of when you're unwell, and I just can't really do much because of the kids when I'm in that state. But that is what it is. Now, today's weapons, yeah, relatively decent haul. Obviously, if I get one good weapon out of the day, I'm actually quite happy. I don't expect, like, GODROLL upon GODROLL, which does happen sometimes. But the last two weapons out of the top picks, absolutely fantastic, and I really think I should revisit the Broadsider, or rather the Quadsider again, and see which variation of my many Quadsiders is the best. But we'll maybe do that another day. I'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.